Hey, yo. MOM Radio and the Pipe Bomb Radio Network present Not Your Mama's Radio Show with your hosts, former WWE superstars and two men that are always on a mission, Oscar and Sir Mo.
Well, men on the mission. Are you ready? Well, here we go. Men on the mission. Bam, bang, boom. Here we go. Do it like this. You got to all know. Oscar, Mabel, and Mo. So we're in the house. We're ready. So men on a mission over here. Do it like this. Our mission. You better have fear. Do it like this. We got your ignition. Who's in the house? It's men on a mission. Well, men on a mission. Yeah, men on a mission. We're in the house. Well, men on a mission.
And we're here now with Not Your Mama's Radio Show with your host, Oscar.
Felix, another week. How are you? And happy 4th of July.
I'm doing well, thank you so much, and the same to you and to Miss Mimi as well.
What are you doing for the 4th? Got any big plans?
What? Well, you know, one thing I've always thought as far as the 4th of July, although it's a great holiday, for me it's always been more about watching, you know, doing the fireworks for the kids, you know, getting to see their reaction to the fireworks and so forth. So it's become more of a thing to where I get to watch my nieces and their reaction to the fireworks and so forth. So it's a good little family get-together thing, I think, but more for the kids.
You guys are going to have like a barbecue and all that other kind of stuff like that?
Well, you know what I think that the plan is that they're supposed to. I have a cousin who has a birthday the same day, so they probably do like a combo platter kind of thing. So you get some birthday cake and you get some barbecue chicken, and you know, might as well have a little bit of both, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, today is significant for us over here because not only is it 4th of July weekend, but today, July 3rd, is Dreamy and I's 1-year wedding anniversary. So we've been celebrating today.
Oh, congratulations, guys.
Yeah, thanks a lot. And, instead of taking a night off, we said we want to spend it with Felix. So there you go.
Aww.
So you see how special you are to us. We're still here.
Well, now all that's missing now is Sir Mo.
Yeah, we got to find some. Maybe he took the 4th of July. Maybe he took my wedding anniversary off. But, great show tonight. My guest tonight is going to be none other than Headbanger Thrasher of the famous WWE former tag team, the Headbangers. Looking forward to having him on. Huge news that I'm going to share with you guys later on. We'll build up to it, and we'll be talking all things WWE, wrestling in general. You have anything later on TNA for us later, Felix?
Actually, yes. Just a little bit to talk about what happened last week with them announcing a new director of wrestling operations and a little bit of chaos that ensued in between that. So, yeah, absolutely.
All right. First tonight, it begs the question, what is WWE paying the wrestlers and employees these days? Now, the way people have gotten paid, the money they've earned have fluctuated over the years. Now, from my understanding, in the 80s, during the rock and wrestling era, where Hulk Hogan was on top and they were flourishing and selling out big arenas everywhere, and everybody was a Hulkamaniac and Macho Man Randy Savage, I used to hear Virgil tell stories backstage about how everybody flew on private jets, going here, there, and everywhere. There were double shots multiple times during the week because it was just that popular. And with him and the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, with the whole popularity of that. In other words, long story short, they were making money hand over fist. Now, you fast forward to the new generation era, which was my generation, mine, Sermo, and Mabel's generation. There was a big, giant decline. Hulk Hogan left, and wrestling, it kind of like declined a little bit. Let me explain. The arena shows were sold out back in the 80s with Hulk Hogan. During the 90s, with the whole thing with the scandal with Vince's steroid trial and everything that was going on, and it was just a really ugly time, to be honest. The arenas, okay, like let's take Madison Square Garden. Take that for instance. Madison Square Garden always stayed true. New York fans always stayed true. Madison Square Garden was always sold out. But you go to the Reunion Arena in Dallas, an arena that holds maybe 20,000 people, and you may have 3,000 people there. I mean, it was 3,000 people there for a house show. You know, the rafters and everything else were empty, and you know, it wasn't really a bountiful time when it comes down to, you know, attendance and everything else. TV numbers were off. You know, Raw numbers were way down. I mean, it was a really, you know, decline in time, and the financial situation of the company, you know, how they maintained and held together is anybody's guess. And it was so bad to where, like now, you know, they play major arenas everywhere. But back then, I mean, we would play like armories and high school gyms and boys and girls clubs, and I mean places where you would not dream that the WWE would go today, but we went there, and you know, a lot of people suffered financially. Now, I didn't do too bad. Mo will tell you about payoffs that he got, where he got a check for $500 here or $200 there and all that. Yeah, that happened to me later on, but in the beginning, I didn't do too bad my first almost 2 years in, because my contract was negotiated different. When I came into the WWE, I had handlers at the time. I had a top-notch agent, a top-notch lawyer, a top-notch manager, and they negotiated my contract to where I was able to at least make a decent wage. But a lot of people were really suffering, you know, when it came down financially, because that's where the company was at. Now, I'm bringing this up because I want to know, is the payoff going on that bad to where Emma has got to steal from Walmart? This is where all this is coming to. And for those that don't know the story, Emma got arrested for stealing at Walmart $30 worth of crap at Walmart. Arrested. It was all on TMZ. It was a big. I mean, is that the deal? The checks are that bad that you can't go to Walmart and get the things you need. You got to go shoplifting, as we say in New York, boosted at Walmart, $30 worth of stuff, and it's an embarrassment to the company. Now, what they did was they wound up firing her, you know, for this transgression, but they had to turn around quickly and do a 360 and rehire her because, as pointed out, people like Jack Swagger and Cameron did a whole lot worse, got in a whole lot more trouble, and they weren't fired. But you know what? See, here's the thing. They caved, but you can't compare apples and oranges. Emma wasn't let go because she stole from Walmart. Emma was let go because her character on TV is crap. If Emma was AJ Lee or somebody who was selling T-shirts and selling merchandise, there's no way that they would have. You could almost, if you're John Cena or you're Hulk Hogan or you're Shawn Michaels, you can shoot somebody in the eye. If you're acquitted, they're gonna find a way to forgive you and keep you and pay for your defense. They're not just gonna throw you to the wolves like they did. But Emma's character, that dance she does, flailing her arms and all that, I thought that Bo Dallas and I thought that Adam Rose got on my nerve when I look at them on TV and I almost want to gouge my eye out with a fork. But she's more painful to watch than all them put together. Plus the fact that...
Well, I will say that Emma's actually better to look at than those two butt heads.
Yeah, okay, you might like that sort of thing, and it might be, but no, she's another one painful to watch.
No, it's a horrible gimmick though. That's for sure. I agree.
It's a horrible gimmick. Now they got her back, and it's not so sure what her, on-screen role is going to be or anything, but it's going to definitely be played down. They rehired her to save face. Okay, now let me ask you this, Felix, because I don't know. I think Jack Swagger was arrested for DUI, or was it something else?
Yeah. Actually, I've heard DUI and I've also heard DWI.
Okay.
And I've also heard something about the fact of some smoking some marijuana, but like this is all within the last few years. It's not something that's recent. The most recent would have been the DUI, yes.
Well, if he got arrested for marijuana, then they need to have arrested everybody down through the ages. Please.
I also want to let you know, Oscar, too, that as far as Headbanger Thrasher, when you're ready, he actually would have asked us if it would be better if we could call him. I said, we can call him. I said, I don't have a problem. I can dial out the number, but I just wanted to let you know that he wants us to call him.
Okay, all right, no problem. We'll get to him. We'll get to him in a few minutes. Okay, now what I don't know, and I'm gonna ask you, what did Cameron get in trouble for?
That one, God, I want to say something about. God, I think she had something in there. She tried to bribe a cop.
Really?
Oh God, I can't remember exactly the details. I can get that information for you though, but it's something to do with. I guess she got in trouble and she tried to play it off because you play her celebrity off and try to bribe the cop not to arrest her and if she was still arrested or something to that extent. I don't know the detail as to why she was stopped. It could have been driving while under the influence or intoxicated or whatever, but I think she tried to bribe a cop if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay. Yeah, see, that's why Felix is a wealth of knowledge. Sometimes these things come up, and I'm oblivious. I don't hear about everything. But yeah. So that's real interesting. Try to bribe a cop. Okay. Well, anyway.
Well, if you think about it, too, a few years ago, Randy Orton actually failed the drug test policy on more than one occasion, and many would think that he was another one that should have been canned years ago, but is not because he's in good with the authority.
Okay. Well. Excuse me.
Nothing against Randy, though. I think he's a hell of a talent.
Yeah, no, just so you know from the horse's mouth, failing the drug policy, that is just something that's said publicly. There are many people who failed the drug policy more days than there are in summer. So, no, that means absolutely nothing. They have to say that because, publicly, you got to act like you're doing something. You're doing something about people doing drugs, but they don't really. I have never known them to really come down on any individual. Because they'll send you to rehab somewhere before they actually fire you.
True.
They'll send you to rehab now. I know. True. I was touching on it a couple of weeks back that, even now we got a drug problem or something like that. They have a program for former talent in place where they'll send us to some posh rehab facility somewhere for a month to get ourselves together. Anytime Sonny need a vacation, she call up and tell them that she got a problem, and they send her to some top-notch 5-star rehab facility where she can vacation for a month to get over her problems, be it drugs, depression, or whatever. Hell, I'm depressed now. I'm subject to call them and tell them I'm going to pack my bag and get me a business-class flight to some facility somewhere so I can sit by a pool and get myself together. So, yeah, no, not
gonna happen.
Pardon me?
Not gonna happen.
Well, first off, hi, Dreamy. How you doing?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Oh, yeah, I got something to tell you. Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary.
Aww.
Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary.
Oh.
I'm welcome. Thank
don't
you.
all that.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
No, I was telling you, please don't all that.
Yeah, I told you, I'm subject to break out in song anytime during the day, so.
There's nothing romantic about that, not even a little bit.
Well, it's not romantic. It's supposed to be congratulatory. You've been married to me for a full year. Kudos!
Yeah.
All right, so you've been listening. Yeah, Emma got arrested. What do you think of that? For stealing at Walmart.
Well, I mean, I've heard about it since you guys were talking about it, but I really don't have anything to say about it. It's sad.
Yeah, it is.
But that just goes to show how things are right now with everybody in the world. I mean, times are hard. I think that's just a little, I don't know, that's just over the top. $30 worth of merchandise, really, and you are working?
Yeah,
So,
that is kind of that's got to be kind of embarrassing. I mean, I'm pretty sure that no matter what the situation is, she got to be making some kind. But she says it was an accident. I mean, okay, let's take a look at this for a second. It's a 2-hour show. Okay, you go to Walmart, you get a bunch of stuff, right? How many of us have went to a Walmart or something and we bought $200 worth of groceries or items or something like that, and then something in your bag gets overlooked, which is pretty much what she's claiming happened. That can happen.
I agree.
Well, I mean,
it can happen. It's happened to me.
Pardon?
Did she get caught leaving out of the store?
She had to have gotten caught leaving out of the store. That's where she got caught and arrested.
Oh, well, yeah, because that's happened to me before. I mean, like, I left the store and there was something in my bag that I hadn't paid for.
Yeah, but, okay, now, we must not know the whole story because usually when that happens, you go through the thing with your basket, one or two baskets or whatever. The electronic thing goes off. They, they look at your receipt. If you have something, they usually let you go back to the register and make good on it. So, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, there's got to be elements to the story I'm missing. And in Walmart, I mean, $30 worth of something, you get arrested and it's all over TMZ like she committed the caper of the year. I mean, what does that say about us? Here we are talking about an arrest for $30 worth of something that she is part of the WWE. That's what makes it a story. But is it really that big a deal? And if they're not paying her what they should be paying her, maybe y'all need to pay her something so she's not boosting in Walmart like some ghetto crackhead. I don't know.
That's a good point.
All right, anyway, moving on. My next thing, Tiss and Felix, I want to. You seem to like different things that I don't like. That's why I like talking to you about this stuff. Why is Big E Langston on TV like he's Al Sharpton or the Reverend Jesse Jackson all of a sudden?
I questioned that myself. I think he's a hell of a talent. I mean, but for them, I mean, I want to think that they're trying to build up this big American star to prepare Rusev for, I guess, this big great battle they were planning that was in talks of maybe working him against Cena somewhere down the line. But to have him come out, I think they do that because of the fact that Big E's got a very comedic side to his character that he's portrayed from time to time, and coming in and he's talking and I can't do the preacher voice. I'm sorry, I just can't do it. But to have him come in and do what he's done, and I think that's the idea they want to go with. And try to build up this all-American guy. You know what I mean?
How you gonna come down here and make fun of my country? Yeah, you see that voice?
Exactly.
I'm seeing. The next thing they're gonna do is have him put on a preacher's robe with a Bible coming down, and his finish is gonna be called the baptism, where you hold your nose, hold you in that position, and plant you in the mat, huh?
Now you heard it here, folks. If that tends to happen, you want to give credit to Oscar and Mimi because they collaborated and they came up with that idea. Unless it was just Oscar, I don't know. But give credit to Oscar if this ends up happening because it could happen. They have
no boundaries when it comes down to doing that sort of thing. Now, Dreamy, you are an avid church goer. Believe in the Lord, you're in the choir, you sing in the praise team, you've led choirs, and you and God are like tight. What do you think it is?
I think that would be pushing a little too far, but I don't know what it just don't fit. Seeing him speak and all of that extra that he's doing, I'm just like, okay, what is this? They need to, I don't know, they need to change it because that's not working.
No, it's really
well. If you
not.
remember, you guys, they did something very similar to Devon a few years ago. They used to call him Reverend Devon, and they had him with Batista. This was going back about 12 years, though, so I'm not sure if you guys were watching back then.
Thanks for reminding me of that. They sure did have, the whole black Baptist preacher, they just stereotype anything that they could get their hands on to stereotype. All right, Dreamy, we're going to get the WWE report going because I want to give Headbanger Thrasher all the time he want to take, so we're going to do that early. Just let me know when you're ready. Don't go yet until I tell you to. But let me know when you're ready with it. Okay. Now, Mo's not here. I don't know where he's at, but I do have a huge announcement that wanted him to be on the share, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys anyway. I have been in it's not negotiations yet, but exploratory conversations with WWE talent for a possible comeback for Mo and I, so to speak. They have an initiative where they're starting a program where they are reaching out to former talent in a few ways. Number one, they're creating a former talent website equipped with a former talent newsletter, and, that kind of thing, where they're gathering all the former talents from the Generation era, Aggression era, Reunion era, Rock and Wrestling era, and everything like that, scouring the globe to try to find all of us, to keep in touch, let the WWE universe know what we're doing, plan events where we can be a lot more visible, whatever the case may be. Now, what we've been discussing is the fact that in order to pull this off, they are going to need a liaison between themselves, between the former talent and the company, and I've thrown my hat into the ring to be that individual working in tandem with Sir Mo so we could actually create a department or be the liaisons or the former talent advocates, as what we're calling it, to do. And I've had a couple of exploratory conversations with the talent manager of talent relations, and I'm preparing a presentation to give the higher-ups over there, and then pray for us, because that will be quite an accomplishment, quite a comeback, and quite a foothold back into the company, for us all. Felix, what do you think of that?
I think I couldn't be happier for you guys. I mean, even the idea has a lot of merit to it. I think for what they do on WWE.com, with their where are they now sections, I think they should have their own website for the talent that came before everybody now, and even some of the silly gimmicks like the TL Hoppers and the Garbage Man, Duke the Dumpster. Hey, you know what? I grew up during that era. I remember these guys. I wouldn't mind finding out what they're up to these days, and if they're still doing the social media thing, to connect with them through the craziness of this social media world. I think it's a great idea. I think it's a great concept. I see it that definitely being a possibility, and I wish you the very best of luck. I will say a prayer for you, and I think that the idea could be definitely something they could run with, and I wish you the best of luck.
Now, one of the things that I do know, taking this responsibility on, it's not going to be easy. And when I say it's not going to be easy, you have a lot of people who had dissolved their relationship with the company under not so positive circumstances. Prime example, you heard Adam Bomb last week. They lied to me. They're lying. They were lying. They were lying the whole time. They lie. And let me tell you something about Brian Clark, Adam Bomb. He sounded mad like it just happened yesterday, and he sounded really ticked off. And for those that don't know him personally, he is one of the sweetest guys on the planet. Mild-mannered, even-tempered, never complained while he was there, but that's the feeling that he walked away with. Now, you can imagine some of the more hot-headed, hot-tempered arrogant egomaniac people that were involved trying to bridge the gap between those individuals in the company, not going to be so easy. So if we are blessed with this opportunity, it's not going to come without its challenges.
Oh, yeah. I mean, but if you think about it, I mean, nothing against the superstar Billy Graham. He's burned his bridges several times with the company. They put him into the Hall of Fame in 2004 after years of disgruntledness against Vince and the company, and they went ahead and put him in the Hall of Fame in 2004. And then a few years later, when they put in Abdullah the Butcher, he protested. He was upset. He was throwing a fit and cursing the name of WWE yet again, and going constantly on good terms, going back on bad terms, going back on good. It does happen. You're right. You're absolutely right. And that was just an example that came to mind when you said that.
There are some people, you mentioned superstar Billy Graham, which is the reason why I mentioned this. There are some people, Billy Graham could take a truckload of gasoline, burn that building down to the ground twice. They could resurrect the building and he could burn it down again. But there are some people that no matter who's feeling what was said, what was done, there are some people inevitably, and I don't care what the circumstances was, are they leaving, quit, fired, talked about Vince's mama, I don't care what they did, but there are some people inevitably that have to go in to that Hall of Fame because of the piece of history that they have written in the book, not just of WWE, but of wrestling, period.
Oh, yeah. Hogan is another one.
Oh, you think? I mean, there's no getting around it. I don't care what the circumstances was. I don't care what happened. You can't. It was one thing you cannot do. You can't rewrite history. If it wasn't for Hulk Hogan, a lot of us would have. If it wasn't for Hulk Hogan single-handedly, made it possible for wrestling to be where it is today. And I'd argue with anybody that fact. He took it, and along with Vince's mind, business savvy, and the direction that it went in, he took it from being a thing for wrestling fans to an entertainment juggernaut. Hulk Hogan was not the word instrumental that doesn't even cover it. I dare to say that he single-handedly put that train on that track. Now, it was carried by the others, of course. I mean, and the train keeps on rolling, and a lot of people, they keep the legacy living. But Hulk Hogan took that train out that station and got it running to the global juggernaut that it is today.
Absolutely.
All right, Julie, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
All right, 1 second. All right, now this segment is brought to us by our sponsor, Freeman Foot Care. Now, we were supposed to have a Freeman Foot Care commercial ready this week, but I'm having problems getting the cast together. I'll have them together next week, and we're going to have a real Freeman Foot Care commercial to run for this segment. Being the loving, giving host and brother-in-law, and LaShawn, I hope you're listening, because I'm only going to do this once. Me being the loving host that I am, I'm going to do the Freeman Foot Care commercial, and here it is. Okay, ready? Go. I woke up and I had crappy feet. Now I do have happy feet. I woke up, my gout had me yelling and screaming, got on the phone and called Dr. Freeman. Called Dr. Freeman and I went there, straight to Freeman Foot Care. I got an exam, I got my meds, now I don't have to sleep standing on my head. I got my exam and they were enhanced, and now I can walk, run, and even dance. Got my care, 'cause I went there, my feet got fixed to Freeman Foot Care. All right.
That was freaking awesome.
Well, thank you very much. All right, Dreamy, take it away.
This is your WWE report for the week of June 29th, 2014. Well, what do you know? Our new 15-time WWE World Heavyweight Champion is John Cena. And speaking of champs, my dream came true. WWE Divas Champion Paige held on to her title at Money in the Bank, but she didn't hold on tight enough. as she was goaded into defending the title again on Monday Night Raw by none other than the former champ, AJ Lee. AJ is once again Divas champion. The Usos stood their ground against Harper and Rowan at Money in the Bank, but on Raw, teamed with Sheamus, the Wyatts got their revenge. Seth Rollins is Mr. Money in the Bank. With the contract win, he attempted to cash in on Raw after Cena had been desecrated by the Demon Kane in a tag team match with Cena and Reigns against Kane and Orton, but Ambrose had other plans. Well, folks, Daniel Bryan is not a Bo leaver, as the former champ asked newcomer Bo Dallas to leave the ring when he came out to give encouragement to Bryan. On Monday Night Raw, the Hartford crowd came unhinged when Chris Jericho showed up to shut up The Miz, but only to be attacked by the Wyatts. At Battleground, there will be a fatal four-way match to try and dethrone the champs, John Cena, Roman Reigns, Demon Kane, and Randy Orton, participants in the Battleground fatal four-way match. Also at Battleground, a Battle Royal will determine a new Intercontinental Champion. Bad News Barrett suffered a separated shoulder and will be out for a while. Participants in the Battle Royal: Cesaro, Kofi Kingston, Damian Sandow, The Great Khali, Rob Van Dam, Dolph Ziggler, Big E, Ryback, Curtis Axel, and Alberto Del Rio. Battleground will be held in Tampa, Florida at the Tampa Bay Times Forum on Sunday, July 20th, 2014. This WWE report was brought to you by Freeman Foot Care of Gary, Indiana. 219-882-2000. I'm Dreamy Mimi for MOM Radio, not your mama's radio show. And now for I Saw It in a Dream. I saw it in a dream. Before SummerSlam, the WWE World Heavyweight title will fall into the hands of part-time employee Brock Lesnar. And the main event at WrestleMania 31 will be Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. Our new WWE World Heavyweight Champion will be Roman Reigns.
Now, how hot is the Divas locker room right now? How ticked off are those women right now? They all been working every week. They're doing Total Divas and the whole thing. AJ Lee goes off on vacation, her honeymoon, marries CM Punk, who just MIA, which seems like forever. She goes skipping off to the sunset, come back with a tan, and gets the title back. They don't put the strap on all the other women who's been working every week, working their butt off. Instead, they give it to the NXT rookie who just came in. She keeps the belt till AJ, I guess, decides to come back. And it's almost like, here, girl, I was holding this for you. Here you go. Let me let you have this, and just keep on going. Are the women right now really ticked off, Felix?
You know, I would have to say it would be kind of a slap in the face to them for all the hard work that they put in and week out. And right now with the authority, the people backstage catering to AJ because she's so over with the crowd right now. And it's like, what's the point of working this hard if you're not even going to reward for the hard work when one just comes back in, like you said, off of vacation and basically gets handed the belt back. Now, I was telling Austin about this on Tuesday. I said, you know, the way this was left, it gave me a really impression, like something you don't see very often as far as maybe a double turn. Now, as far as AJ was freaking over like nobody's business on Monday night.
Right.
On the other hand, Paige, her reaction she could possibly even sell that and build that as animosity against the crowd and become a heel character. I think it could work. It's very rare you see those moments where you can actually see a double turn, but I really felt that on Monday.
Okay. All right, Felix, you could try to get Thrasher now. Dreamy, the same question. You're a woman. Let's say you're backstage and you're a wrestler and you've been working hard.
I know that they have to be upset because I'm upset about it. But I also think that it goes back to what was said last week about this not being it basically, I guess, the management, when they do things to prove a point against the superstar,
exactly. You hit the nail on the head. That's right.
Definitely, because I mean, like you said, they have to put the strap on someone. Okay, we're not going to give it to any of you guys because for whatever reason they wanted to keep them in check or let them know that we don't have to and we running this. So they gave it to the rookie, and okay, you hold this until AJ Lee comes back.
Yeah, but it begs the question, and I'm going to investigate and find this out. First of all, who did it? Who got ticked off and why? Because,
right.
I mean, they seem to be taking it out on everybody. And Natalya deserves a run with the title. They could have put it back
and Naomi.
Naomi deserves the title. They could have put it back on, like Mo said, they could have put the strap back on Alicia Fox for a while. I mean, I can't see, to be totally honest, I mean, they could have had a run with the Bellas. One of them could have had the title, which made a turn between, Brie and Nikki fighting over the title for a while. So, yeah, something's amiss. Somebody did something that somebody didn't like. Because I'm telling you, from experience, that's what they do. That's the game that they play. Now, why they're punishing the whole roster, it seems, that's the big mystery.
Yeah, but obviously that's what's happening because that's the way that they set that up. That's the only way that I can see that happening. I can't see any other explanation. Somebody ticked somebody off.
Yeah. Well, I can definitely see, going to your dream segment, I can definitely see at some point Roman Reigns definitely getting the title. Now, once he gets, it's going to take a while for it to circle around for him to get it. And the reason why I tell you that is because when he get it, he's going to hang on to it for a very long time. I think with his talent, his persona, and everything that he got going for himself, be it heel or babyface, Roman Reigns is going to make a terrific champion. He's going to be a top, fantastic draw. He's going to make a lot of money because he's going to headline at least 2 or 3 or 4 maybe pay-per-views, a headline championship match. It's going to take a lot to dethrone him. He'll probably beat CM Punk's record of 434 days. He's going to keep it for quite some time. So that's something that Roman Reigns fans have got to look forward to because it's going to happen.
I don't doubt that one bit.
All right, did we find Thrasher?
No, I haven't called him yet. I was just waiting for you to give me the signal, give him a call.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah, go ahead, please.
Yeah, all right, here we go.
All right. Although
it will be ringing here, so you might hear the ringing.
All right, Dreamy, so you're a big Roman Reigns fan. What do you think of that?
Well, I mean, of course, I'm looking forward to him getting the title.
Hello.
Hey, Thrasher, how you doing, man?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Oh, well, how you doing, man?
Good, what's up?
Happy 4th of July.
Yeah, you too.
All right, you're on MOM Radio with your old buddy Oscar. How's everything going?
What's up, Oscar? Good.
Man.
Good. I'm on the way up to New Jersey, driving to pick up my little children. Spent a week with my mom.
Okay, we not disturbed. We ain't gonna get you pulled over, is we?
I hope not.
Okay.
I'll just mail you the ticket. That's all.
Yeah, mail me the ticket. There you go. Okay. You know what? Didn't you go to New Jersey to get your daughter that was graduating last week?
Last week, and I dropped off my other 2 up there. They stayed with my mom for a week, and now I'm going up to pick everybody up and bring them back down to Florida.
Now, you drove... Okay, let me get this straight, because You like, I mean, you know what? I wish you was my daddy, because I wish my daddy would have came and drove 800 miles back and forth to get me.
See, this is old school. We're used to driving like this.
Yeah, that you got a point. You right about that. Now, I'm not.
This is a day trip.
Mo did all the driving. Mo would drive from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, all the way to the shores of Maine with no sleep. Just pull over for gas.
Yep, that's it. That's all we do is pull over for gas. That's it.
Yeah, all right. So how you doing? How you enjoying your 4th of July? You going to get your kids? How was your daughter's graduation?
Oh, it was great. It was good. It's surreal, to tell you the truth. These kids, they grew up when we were at our peak and with WWE and everything else, and then to see them graduate, it's just, full circle.
A lot of you guys like me. Our kids were babies when we were in our heyday down there back in the 90s, and now our kids are fully grown, 17, 18, 19. I got a boy in his 20s. So and he was like 2 years old when I used to carry him backstage and pass him around to the boy. He don't even remember that. So
My oldest is 21, and she was there when we won the tag team belts, and she remembers it. And she went to WrestleMania when we were up in Boston. And she had breakfast with Shawn Michaels. That was her man. Back in the day, Shawn Michaels hung the moon for her. Not Daddy, Shawn Michaels.
How many kids can actually say that? That's the good part about it.
That's right. Yep.
All right.
Yep.
My first question to you is, where were you before? Where were you? Were you with Marsh before you came into the WWF years ago?
I actually trained Mosh at the Monster Factory, the world famous Monster Factory. The only training school to go to is the Monster Factory. A little cheap. I just did a commercial. But I trained him at the Monster Factory, and then when we got together, I knew Jerry Lawler from Memphis, and Jerry was like, you guys are always welcome down here. So we went down there, we did our time down there, and then after there we went into Ozark Mountain, which was run by Burt Prentice at the time. And then after we left there, we went over to Jim Cornette in Smoky Mountain, and Jim Cornette is actually the one that gave us the Headbanger gimmick. So we were together long before we ever made it, with Vince and everything else. So we came into the Federation as the Headbangers. Vince, that wasn't a Vince McMahon gimmick, that was our gimmick. No. So, and you know how much Vince loves, creating people and everything else. So we were already had one check against us because he didn't make the Headbangers, we did.
So you guys were able to take that name anywhere.
Yes.
No.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Well, from what I understand, because even with Men on a Mission and other personas that they create, the copyrights on there expire after a while. So if they choose not to or forget to renew the copyrights, you have all the right to go in and renew and get the copyrights yourself. But like you just said, you guys' circumstances different because you guys came in as the head, and you guys played that. You guys look like the Sons of Woodstock. So you guys had that gimmick
funny
pat when you came in.
It's funny because when Cornette gave us the gimmick, we already had the tattoos and the piercings, and we listened to that type of music, and that was already us. I mean, it wasn't like far stretched from actually who we really are, and actually when we signed our first full-time contract with Vince, he actually took over the rights to the name, and just recently he did not renew the trademark on the Headbanger name. That's why there's no action figures of us anymore or anything else because he doesn't have the rights to it. We re-copyrighted it after he didn't.
Okay, don't let me go. I got a message for you from Talent Relations, a message for everybody, so don't let me go before I give it to you. It's real important. And then I'm going to tell you, then I want to see what you think of it.
Gotcha.
Now, tell me some of the most memorable matches and times that you had during your tenure there.
Well, it was funny because when we came into the WWE, we came in as part-time contracts, which were at the time they were contracts for just TV talent. We weren't guaranteed anything or anything else. We had a lump sum that we got for Monday, we got a lump sum for Tuesday, and we weren't entitled to any merchandising. We weren't on the road or anything else. And it's back when Vince wanted to get away from the jobbers and have more competitive matches on TV. Right. So that was our first contract, and we had that for we signed them in, I guess it was November of 96. And then we did our very first WrestleMania still under our part-time contract in 97, and we went over WrestleMania 13, and we were still just part-time, and, you know, that was probably the biggest thing. We're in this four corners match for, you know, the right to have a shot at the tag team belts the very next day on Raw, and we went over. I mean, that's probably, you know, one of the most memorable times. You know, of course, winning the tag belts and then winning the NWA belts, and then again at another WrestleMania out in it was California, LA, at the Staples Center. We did a hardcore battle royal match, and I was hardcore champ for a whole 32 seconds. My God, nobody could take that hardcore belt away from me. So, you know, we had so much fun when we were there, and, you know, the only regret I have, I guess, for our time there, we were always the yes men. You know, when Vince and JR came to us and were like, hey, you know, we need somebody to go do an autograph session, or we need somebody to, you know, do this or do that, we were always like, yeah, we'll do it. And, you know, lo and behold, if, you know, you say no to him more times than say yes, you end up, you know, getting belts and stuff like that. You know, even if you go to like rehab or something and come back, and, you know, you're guaranteed a title after that. But, you know, you stay your nose clean and everything else, you know, you're kind of, you know, in the back seat.
Well, that's not necessarily a bad thing, because we were in the same boat. Anytime you needed somebody to go and, you know, fly out on your day off, supposedly, like you had a day off, to go and do an autograph session or the Macy's Day Parade or backstage do a meet and greet. Yeah, they know pretty much who the you know, because when you talk about Shawn Michaels, the Clique, and other people like that, you know, they had their egos, and they know who would probably say no. They knew who would probably say yes, so they knew who to come to first.
It's funny, too, that you say that about egos and stuff like that. It makes me laugh when I hear guys that they say, I have an ego, or they come off like that and everything else. I just want to stop them and go, you know what? Who do you think you are? You know, the fans made you who you are. You know, Vince set you on the stage. Vince gave you the opportunity, but the fans make you who you are. You know, nobody else has anything to do with it but the fans. So why would you neglect to spend 10, 15, 20 minutes, you know, signing autographs, taking pictures and stuff like that, when these are the people that pay their hard-earned money to come see you night after night after night, and you're going to say no and have, you know, an air about you that, you know, that nobody wants to come around? I think that's just, you know, it's one of the black eyes in this, you know, day and age of this business, that people think they're too good to intermix with the fans, and they don't really realize without them, we wouldn't have a platform to do anything.
Right.
If there was no fans in the stands, you know, what would you be besides TNA?
Yeah, but you know, Thrash, that's not just confined to the wrestling business. That is the mentality of a lot of young performers in every aspect of the entertainment business. Period. They do not understand. It's like I'm not in here with the fans. The fans are in here with me. And unfortunately, a lot of people adopt that, and a lot of people find their careers getting cut short just because of that attitude.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, when you were there backstage, I can tell you stories upon stories of what it was like in the Generation era. During the era you were there, was there a lot of ribbon going on backstage?
Well, there was, and it was always, one of two people. It was always either Owen or Davey Boy. They were always up to something.
Yeah.
It was one of our first TVs. Owen was known to take, your bag and padlock it to a table or a chair or another bag. One of our first TV, Owen did that. He padlocked me and Chaz's bag together, and we were like, okay, we're just going to go. We drive together. We room together. We're just going to keep going with it. And we paid no mind to it, and it killed Owen that we didn't put it over at all. But, Owen and Davey Boy, they were probably two of the ones that they would drop stink bombs behind you when you were talking to Vince or, all kinds of, crazy fun stuff. It was so funny. I don't know how it was when you guys were actually there, because when you guys were there, I actually came up every chance I had to do TVs to be an extra. I actually wrestled against Men on a Mission as an extra, way back in the day.
Okay.
So, the Attitude Era, it was more like everybody knew their spot, in the company. We all knew that, Steve Austin, he was the headliner.
Right.
Shawn was right up there. Undertaker, we always knew who was putting everybody's, butt in the seat. So, I didn't care if I was, semi-main event or anything else like that. Just put me on the card. I'm going to make money because these guys are selling out arenas left and right. I mean, we were getting house shows that were selling out. They weren't getting 3,000, 4,000 people. We were getting 20,000 people at a house show.
Exactly.
Consistently. And now today, what are they getting? 4,000 or 5,000 people?
Right.
Yeah.
So it's just, back then it was, I always tell everybody that the way I felt the Attitude Era was, it felt more family-oriented. Like, everybody brought their families backstage. Brett brought his kids backstage when we were up in the Northeast, because we were born and raised in South Jersey. So whenever we were at over in Philadelphia, we always had our kids there, our families there, and everybody always went out of their way. Owen would sit in the lunchroom and color with the kids. China was out in the arena playing hide and seek with the kids. Everybody, it was different. It was more family oriented. People weren't out for themselves. Everybody knew their position and what their job title was. Mm-hmm. Like I said, we knew we weren't, LOD or anybody else like that. We were just glad that we could be in the ring with them, and honored at that. So, as long as we were on the card somewhere, we knew that we were going to get a good payday off of it, because these guys were selling out the arenas.
Right. Okay, now, and I like to ask everybody from that era this question: what do you think of the product today?
To tell you the truth, I haven't watched it in so long.
Really?
And it's funny because when I watch it today, it's just the thing that makes it so different from even when you guys were there. There was characters, and what I mean by characters, you had like Doink the Clown. You had you had characters that you could get behind. You knew they weren't real people, but they were made up characters that you could get behind and emotionally attached to. Now, to me, when I have seen it, to me, it seems like everybody wants to be Stone Cold Steve Austin. Okay. You know what? There'll never be another Stone Cold Steve Austin ever.
That's right.
There'll never be another Shawn Michaels ever. You have these guys and, nobody wants to, it just seems like everybody wants to be an ass kicker. And nobody wants to, it seems like everybody wants to get themselves over and stuff like that. And, I always felt the hardest thing in this business was to take an ass whooping and make it look believable and get the people behind you to go, oh, my God, I want this guy to really fight back. Oh, my God, I really want this guy to, come up on top or something. And today it just seems like everybody wants to just go in there, get their, stuff over and be on with it. And the storylines are so watered down now, and they don't seem like they last as long as they used to. Even back when you guys were there, they would drag storylines out for months at a time. And now it just seems like they drag them out month to month, just to make it to the next pay-per-view, and then they go on with something else.
Right.
And, say what you want about Vince Russo and everything else, but he was, to me, he's the one that actually turned the key to the Attitude Era. He's the one that always, pushed the envelope with the different things, with the beer truck, with Steve Austin, and, the I Hate Authority thing that Steve did so well. And, people down Vince Russo and everything else and say that he killed WCW and he did this and everything else. But, the guy can only do so much for what he has to work with.
Right.
So I think he started the key for the Attitude Era, and everybody else jumped on that. And, you could see, back then how the storylines, they lasted a long time, and people could get so much more into a storyline back then because they knew it wasn't going to be over in a month. Everybody always talks about, when Daniel Bryan tagged with Kane. Nobody could really get behind that tag team because they knew in a couple months they weren't going to be together.
Yeah,
you could get behind, LOD and the Godwins and us and, other tag teams from that time because you knew they were tag teams. They weren't two guys thrown together because they had enormous-sized contracts and, oh, my God, I got to do something with them kind of thing.
Right, yeah. Why is there so much hateration against Vince Russo? I mean, to me, he's the person that, I was saying earlier, Hulk Hogan took the business in another direction, but when it went askew, Vince Russo single-handedly stabilized the business for a while. Now today, he's villainized. In your opinion, why is that?
You know what? I have no idea. I think everybody doesn't, I think he's graded on his last body of work, whether it was WCW or TNA or something like that. They just see that and they criticize him over it. They don't remember all the good things. And I think that's with anything, in this business, is you're criticized on the last thing that you've done and not your whole body of work. Everybody wants to criticize Hulk Hogan for, still doing what he's doing. But you know what? He's still marketable. So why wouldn't you want to, market him and stuff like that? You know what? Keep him out of the ring. Make him an ambassador and stuff like that. Have him go over to – people still are interested in Hulk Hogan. People are still interested in Shawn Michaels and Steve Austin and The Undertaker. Right. Why not, put them in a position where, maybe they don't have to be in the ring. Maybe they can do, other things. Because there's so much knowledge that these kids today don't know and could only, it would only help them to be around people like that. When we first started up there, we did nothing but listen to, Sean talk about, him and Marty when they were the Rockers and, we hung around with Brett and Owen and Davey and stuff like that because, to me, the Hart Foundation is still today probably one of the greatest tag teams out there.
Right.
And LOD, and, I'll never forget that first match that they came back during the Attitude Era at the Manhattan Center. It was against us. And, we just came off of a tour overseas, and we're all excited. We're like, oh, we're in the Manhattan Center. This is where Raw originated from and all this other stuff. And then we look at the board and we see LOD against the Headbangers, and we're like, oh, my God, we're going to get absolutely killed. and then, we were told it's going to be a double disqualification, and, and that just made us feel unbelievable that, we didn't go under, on their heyday back, their big match.
That's the beginning of a push right there.
You
got to put the LOD over. That's huge.
Yep, it certainly was.
All right, Felix, do you have any questions for Headbanger Thrasher?
You know what? I would like to see. Would like to get your input on what you think about the WWE Network. Have you checked it out? Have any of your families checked it out as far as the getting to see you on the old Monday Night Raw segments that they had on there? Because I do see it from time to time on there.
It's so funny. I have not seen it. I've had a lot of people say that they have saw it through social media and stuff like that. I think it's great in that aspect where the viewers of today can go back and see, some of the guys that they don't have a chance to see anymore.
Right.
Like Men on a Mission, like us and stuff like that. They've heard about it, but they've never seen us. But now they have a chance to go back and relive those time frames and experience exactly what it was like and watch it. In that respect, I think it's great. In another respect, I think it's also going to hurt today's product because they're going to go back and see what it used to be and go, why isn't it like that now?
Yeah, that's right.
And when are we going to see the Headbangers against the Usos?
Right.
You know what? It's so funny. Is we get more of questions like that on social media between Twitter and Facebook and everything else. We would love to go back and just do one more match or do like an old school Raw or something like that. But never once have they, reached out to us. And it's so funny too because both of us are probably in the best shape of our lives that even when we were there. So we're open for it. We would love to do something like that. We would love to. Right now, we're in a boat where we do a lot of independent shows in South Florida and stuff like that because it's so close to our house. And we sit there and we like to give back because I remember what it was like when I was coming up and everything else, and how much I would sit in the locker room and somebody would give it to us, and just to sit there and listen to the stories and listen to the experiences that, the veterans have and stuff like that. The stories of the veterans today are totally different than the stories of the veterans of yesterday.
Right.
So, just to sit there and listen to it, you learn so much just from it. That was one of the things that Larry Sharp at the Monster Factory would preach to us. When you're in the locker room and there's a veteran in there, you sit there and you keep your damn mouth shut and you don't say a word. You listen to exactly everything that they're saying. You're going to learn more from listening to them than actually saying anything or doing anything or anything else. And you know what? Sometimes that's the absolute truth. So, and I think a lot of the kids today that are up and coming and stuff like that, they don't give the veterans the time of day that, that they should. Everybody thinks they know it all.
Yeah, exactly. Nope, you're right.
Will we ever see a Headbanger radio or podcast in the future?
We actually had one before, and we did it for, quite a while. We also had like a YouTube channel. It was called HBTV. And, we did it for quite a while, and it just got so, we found ourselves talking about the same stuff because the product of today is different. You would talk about a storyline one week and it wouldn't be there next week. Or, you would talk about, this one and then, they're off in a different direction. And it made it hard to do something like that. And neither one of us have, that much free time to be doing it. He works full time, during the day, and, I work full time during the day. We have very little time to have free to spend that much time doing a podcast or the HBTV and stuff like. Every now and then, from time to time, we'll pop up a video of us making fun of somebody and things like that. But just to keep us, I guess, semi-relevant.
Now, where can we see you and Marsh anywhere this summer?
We're actually, if you're in South Florida, we're, pretty much steady down in South Florida, down in, West Palm Beach, from Fort Lauderdale to West Palm Beach area. We go up into Orlando. I'm actually going to be in Orlando on August 9th. I'm going to be in actually West Palm Beach on the 7th, so I have to drive back home, or on the 6th. I have to drive back home and do a show Sunday night, for in West Palm Beach. So, we're all over. We always post where we're going to be and what we're doing and stuff like that on social media. You can follow me at GR Thrasher. I follow everybody back. I answer everybody's questions, no matter how dumb they are. I'll answer them. You may not like the answer, but if you don't want to hear the right answer, don't ask me the question. That's all I got to say.
And he does follow
But
Oscar on Twitter as well.
That's right. And I also have 2 Facebook accounts. I think they're both pretty much full, but we do have a Headbanger fan page. That it's the Headbangers page. I don't know exactly what it is, but there's a Headbanger fan page out there. I add everybody on everything. I believe, and I've always believed it, that, without the fans, I wouldn't have been able to have the platform to do what I do.
Right.
So if I could sit there and talk to somebody on Twitter or Facebook and stuff like that and everything else, I get a kick out of it also. Because as you can tell, I'm very long-winded.
No, it's okay. I'm enjoying the interview. All right, the message I have for you is this. I need you next week, call up to WWE, to Talent Relations. The girl's name is Kristen. She wants everybody to call her because she wants to update the contact information, because what they're doing is they're actually creating a former talent website, a former talent newsletter, and they're actually, we're going to all put our heads together because they're actually looking for ideas to bring all of us guys to the forefront, let fans know who we are, what we're doing, and all that other kind of thing like that. And she wants to know how to get in touch and keep in touch with everybody.
All right. You know what? And I think it's long overdue.
Yeah, it is. Way long overdue.
It's funny because as much as I disagree with, I disagree to agree with, the helping of the people that have the substance abuse and stuff like that, putting them through rehab and everything else. And, how many times are you going to put somebody through rehab before you just say, hey, you know what, I did everything I could for you? What about the people like Mo that has, kidney problems and stuff like that from the years of wear and tear in the ring, and these people that, need knee replacements and stuff like that for putting their bodies on the line? Where's our rehab? Where's our medical coverage?
What about the people with former talent that just need financial help? That just, that money don't last forever. Mine been long gone 19 years.
I hear you.
You know what I'm saying?
I hear you. Yes, I do.
Woo, wow. So,
I just think there should be some kind of, I agree with the rehab thing, but it should only all right, here's, wrestler X, he has a substance abuse problem. We're going to put him through rehab this one time. You have to make out of it what you make out of it. What about...
Some of us got other problems.
That's right. What about the guys that they can't stand up straight because their back is all out of whack? What about the guys like that? What about the guys that have arthritis in their shoulders and can't really work anymore because of the wear and tear on their body in the ring for all the years? Right. It just seems to me that once you leave that limelight, they slowly forget who you are.
Now, she asked me, would I round up and get in touch with all the people that, I had in contact with, and, I'm going to take it a step further, trying to, create a situation, where I could really be an advocate for it. But see, one of the challenges to that is you have a lot of people who, for the reasons you just mentioned, and then a whole bunch of other stuff, a lot of people left under a rainy umbrella. There were a lot of bad feelings with a lot of people. It's going to be a challenge to really get a lot of people on board with what they're trying to do now, simply because they waited all this time to do it, number one, and number two, because everybody didn't leave with a smile and a handshake.
Well, and what's funny is I don't have, even though that we left and everything else, everybody leaves. Everybody gets let go of their contract. It's part of the business.
Right.
I have no ill feelings for anybody up there. As a matter of fact, is when they did WrestleMania down in Miami, I think it was the next night they were in Miami doing Monday Night Raw. We went down there. We saw everybody. We said hi to, Triple H and saw everybody and everything else, and it was great. We absolutely loved it. But, I don't have any ill feelings towards my time up there. Do I wish I would have done, certain things different? Of course. We all wish we would have done, certain things different. But, I can't, bellyache over something like that. I had a great time. I experienced things that that the normal people will never, ever experience. Oscar, you know what I'm talking about.
but you know what? I agree with you 100%. That is how I feel about it, honestly, all kidding aside. But you have a lot of people that just don't see it that way. For example, and it's common knowledge, he was on the show last week, Brian Clark, Adam Bomb. Adam Bomb was like, they lied to me. They're liars. He was like, whatever was promised to him or whatever, they didn't do it. He called them liars, they were lying. So I couldn't in good conscience be like, well, knowing he feel like that, oh, by the way, they want you to give him a call because they want everybody to call because they want to start a newsletter. So give him a call because he got bitter feelings about the whole thing. So
I'm sure there's a lot of guys like that.
That's my point, exactly. So, I don't know how to, praying for the best. I don't know how this is going to play out.
So you're saying Kristen up at Talent Relations, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll give her a ring next week.
Give her a call and update your information. And, if you have, and like I said, we're going to all put our heads together because the whole thing now is coming up with feasible ideas of what they can do. Now, one of the things that I mentioned, I think that they should have a rock and wrestling alumni reunion. That the WWE, and I'm not talking about something that a convention league. A lot of these conventions do a great job. So if they do a great job, if they had a aggression reunion or an attitude reunion, a generation reunion, and they sponsored it. If these conventions can do it and make a lot of money, if they did it, it would be a powerhouse. So I think
absolutely.
It should be something. It should be something that it's a shame that other people have to do it in order for all of us to get together. They should have been doing it, but that's one of the ideas that I have for them moving forward.
Yeah, that would be an awesome idea, and you're absolutely right. If these promoters can do these conventions and make a ton of money, why wouldn't Vince want to capitalize on that?
Exactly, and with their with the network, and see, one of the reasons why that they've come up with this initiative now is because of the network. Because the network is showcasing everybody and all of us, so the fan curiosity is out there because it's not a coincidence. The network is out, and all of a sudden you want to reach out and create this, that, and the other for former talent. Of course you do. 600,000 people signed up for the network, so they want to know who the hell is the Headbangers, where they at.
Right.
They put on a better show than John Cena and Daniel Bryan could ever put on today. So our curiosity is peaked. We want to know who these guys are, where they at, where can we see them, and when can we see them.
Right.
Thrasher, it was great talking to you, my man, and it was good seeing you last year in New Jersey.
Oh, man, yeah, it was.
Blast.
Hey, you got to tell everybody that story. Well, no, I'll do it. We're all sitting at the bar down at the hotel. It's so funny. We just all got done eating, and the bartender comes up. He goes, last call for everybody. And everybody's like, nah, no. Now, mind you, it's me, Oscar, Viscera, Ron Simmons, Devon, Kaz. We were all sitting there. Coco. We were all sitting there eating and, drinking our waters and everything else. And the bartender comes up. He goes, last call for everybody. So we're like, no. Mind you, it's like 10:30. So the bar closes at like 11. He came up 10 minutes later and he goes, hey, I mispoured these 3 beers. Do any of you guys want it? And every single one of us sat there and went, now we got to go to bed. It's 10:30. We're all going, we got to go to bed. We told that bartender, if you would have came up to us 10 years ago, we'd be fighting over them beers.
We'd have been flipping each other over tables.
And it's so funny. And then out of the blue, Ron goes, damn.
But that's just a testament to how old we are. 10:30 p.m. and you got a.
We were ready for bed.
I mean, I didn't drink, but we used to close bars down back in the they used to keep the bars open later because it wasn't nobody. They didn't let nobody else in. It wasn't nobody in there but us. And I mean, everybody was. I mean, Yokozuna. People trying to drink each other under the table. And
Absolutely.
I don't know who used to win them liquor wars because those were some liquor fish.
Yeah, I can tell you what, it wasn't us. We never won anything. And nope. Yeah,
10:30. No, we had to get up at 7:30 in the morning to for an 8:00 call to sign autographs. Everybody mindful till it's 10:30. We gotta be in the bed.
That's right. It was funny. We all sat there and laughed about that. Yeah.
Oh,
it was a good time.
So funny. Well, I'm hoping that before they did that this year, we get another convention or something together because I miss you guys.
Oh man, we miss everybody too. We miss you guys.
All right. Tell Marsh next time he got to come on because I want to holler at him.
I will. I'll tell him.
All right. I'm gonna keep in touch. I'm gonna Facebook you this week. We're gonna come up with something.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. I love you guys, man. Take it easy.
All right. Love you guys too. See you, Oscar. See you guys.
All right. Thanks.
Bye.
All right. Bye.
Yeah, that
was freaking awesome. I love storytelling. It's always my favorite time.
And he, people like that, they got a lot. I mean, we got a
Hey, you
a
know
lot
what,
of
Oscar? I
history.
actually wanted to pitch an idea to you to go along with this little initiative that you're trying to do.
Okay,
I mean,
yeah,
considering that you're doing this show right now, you and Mimi are doing this show, why not pitch an idea similar to what Renee Young was doing for WrestleMania 30 and interviewing a lot of the legends? Why don't they do a Where Are They Now and have you host the show and bring them on your show to talk with them? I mean, some of the old timers. I mean, hell, you had, like you said, Adam Bomb last week, Thrasher this week. Hell, I mean, we got a whole bunch of got a whole bunch of legends we can talk to. Lanny Poffo, we can talk to, just to name a few, and just do like a Where Are They Now and pitch it in there with an idea to them to do something like that.
That is an excellent idea because a lot of this show is based on a lot of the legends of those eras and everything like that. And and with the network being as popular as it is, I honestly think that but the thing is, to get it sponsored or under the umbrella of WWE some kind of way to do that. Okay, I've got a presentation that I have got to put together to prepare, for the next month. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our heads together and put all the components in there so we can, pitch I don't want to leave no stone unturned. We're going to get as much traction out of this thing as we possibly can, but definitely put that into the component because that's an excellent idea. Thank you, Felix.
Not a problem. Hey, whatever I can do to help out, hopefully it benefits because I for one, would be in favor of showing appreciation for the past and what they could do for the future.
And if we could,
a lot of these youngsters could definitely. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
If we can do that, you definitely gonna stay on board as executive producer of a show like that. So it benefits everybody. My success is everybody's success. So you just keep your hat on. I mean, something's gonna break. I'm gonna tell you now. I don't know what. Like I said, this is a huge opportunity for me to be able to open up a dialogue and get that going back and forth. I don't know. One of the things that I'm weary about it working out, or it may work out way later down the line, I'm working on it now, is the fact that, they're cutting costs with a whole bunch of things. So a lot of new ideas that may not fly tomorrow may fly next month or next year, or maybe even right away because, what they're doing, they want to do now. But I am reading, timing is everything, and sometimes timing is not on your side. It's a thing that where they're trimming the fat and cutting the cost because of all the money that Vince is losing, but still they have to reach out to former talent. They're looking to do it. So, I'm going to make my pitch and my presentation, and hopefully it happens sooner rather than later. But wherever I'm going, you're going to be coming, so you better get ready.
I know Mimi's ready.
Oh, Mimi's definitely ready. Mimi's definitely ready.
Oh, yeah.
But guess what?
I think that's a good concept. I think that's a good idea. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off there.
Yeah, 4th of July Eve. We're cutting out early tonight. How does that sound? We're all getting off work early.
You know, I think that's a good concept. I think that's a good idea. I mean, hey, you know, it's like it's a holidays. Why sit here and work all the way through if you can cut out early, right?
Yeah, we're gonna cut out early. They're gonna have some fireworks out here this evening, so we're gonna
Who do
try
we
and
have
catch
coming
that.
on next week?
You know what?
Or is that still in the works?
I know. I honestly believe next week is we're gonna have a name on next week. I'm gonna work on that and let you know. But we're gonna have this kid Justin Overstreet on from the promotion Alabama that Mo is.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that.
Next Saturday night. So we're gonna have him on next Thursday and have him and Mo threaten each other on air.
Lord.
I got to get in touch with Mo and make sure he's okay. Find out what happened to him this week. But, yeah.
I think it might just be to do with the fact that he wanted to be off for the holidays. It's probably all
he might have wanted to be off, but he could have let a brother know. You don't do no call, no show. That's how you get fired around here. I can't go to my job that I work and no call, no show, but I'll deal with him. Don't worry. He'll never do it again. Matter of fact, I'm going to tell you an exclusive for next week. Mo's going to come on and apologize for not being, he's going to tearfully apologize for not being on this week.
You missed a heck of a show, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, you missed a heck of a show. See, we're better off without him. Who the hell is he anyway? Did we do the? I didn't catch the beginning of the intro. Did we do the intro this week where we mentioned his name?
Absolutely.
We did the
Absolutely.
intro.
You'll be able to hear it. If those who are listening now heard it, and if you don't, you can also hear it again on our YouTube channel as well.
The intro where we mentioned his name is the night that he don't frickin' show up.
That's what I'm saying. I was telling Austin the same thing. I said, what happened? We went all out for him today, and he's gone.
Yeah, see, now when Austin sent him one of them spanking Texas, and then he want to start crying, he gonna be, Austin gonna be justified this week. Yeah, we gonna find him. But all right, Felix. Felix, before you go, is the phones ringing? Anybody calling?
Actually, no. It's pretty quiet tonight. I mean,
okay.
Actually, I've been pretty quiet. I mean, if anything, I was watching and no, I mean, we had Thrasher on, and to be honest, I was just enjoying myself listening to the stories because, the stories of back in the day are always something I love to hear about, and even the fun stories of listening to you, what you guys did, like getting older, wanting to go to bed early. But that's your question, unfortunately. There was no phone calls this week.
Exactly. All right, Felix, I'm going to see you next Thursday. We'll talk in the next couple of days. Enjoy your 4th of July.
You do the same. Mimi, you do the same as well. Take care of him now.
All right. MOM Radio signing out. Happy 4th of July, everybody.
Happy 4th of July, guys.
All right.
Well, men on the are you ready? Well, here we go. Who's in the house? It's man on a mission.